Hey, so I want to talk a bit about the emotional role reversal that can happen with narcissistic parents where they make you responsible for their feelings, which is actually a form of like emotional incest basically, because children are not supposed to be responsible for their parents' feelings. And it can also be called parentification, where the child is asked to be the parent in an emotional sense. And I wanted to say how I realized now I was super enmeshed with my mother. And this was part of why no contact was so difficult, was I felt responsible for caring for her. Like, I felt like I was a parent abandoning their child. I felt like I was evading my duty, but I'm the child. I didn't even realize that this was like not a normal thing to be thinking about. And my aunt even said, like, if you go no contact, I'll have anxiety about wondering whether or not you're okay. Like, she was making me responsible for her anxiety. It's like, I'm not responsible for that. She has to manage her own anxiety. And yeah, we often talk about narcs being like 2-year-olds in adult body, which is why they do this emotional role reversal, because they don't know how to manage their own feelings. But that doesn't make me responsible. Like, if anyone's responsible, it's their parents who screwed them up, not me, not the child. Like, I'm not responsible for how they feel. So no contact was so difficult because I was trying to find some way to make them happy, right? But also go no contact. And that's why I did it for like, how long was it? Like 4 or 5 months. I was doing this low contact thing, trying to find a way to make them feel okay about me going no contact. That's what I was doing. I was torturing myself for like 5 months, trying to come up with some magical solution where they can feel okay and I get to go no contact. And I'm thinking now, I mean, obviously I didn't come up with it, right? I just, at some point, I was just in so much pain. I was like, okay, if they are hurt, then they're hurt. There's nothing I can do about that. But now I'm wondering if the only possible solution is like fake your own death, which I'm obviously not advocating for, but I don't know of a way that you can make them feel okay and also get to be no contact, because going no contact is going to enrage them. If they think they own you, especially if they're doing this emotional role reversal, they're looking at you kind of like you're their parent. So they feel abandoned by you. They think they own you. Your leaving is like theft, because they don't see that you have your own emotions. It would be like if your phone got up and walked away. Like, you'd be really pissed. You'd be like, no, you're my phone, get back here. And I think that's kind of how they see us. They're gonna be pissed. Like, I don't think that there's a way to stop that from happening. So if you have this emotional role reversal thing, I think it's pretty common and it sucks. Like, you're really deep entrenched in that, especially if it's your parent, but it can happen in friendships or a romantic relationship too. And you just really have to tell yourself that they have to deal with their own stuff. Like, it's not my job. You just have to keep saying to yourself, it's not my job. There's one quote that I liked that said, there are things that are your job, other people's job, and God's job. And anytime you're trying to do things other than your job, you will have suffering. So the narcissist emotions are the narcissist's job or God's job. They're not your job. So you can just hand it over to God if that makes you feel better. I found that made me feel better somehow. I was like, okay, God, you can deal with my parents' emotions and help them feel better. Just to like take it off of myself, to say it's not my job, because I didn't think I could put it on them, because obviously they can't handle their own emotion. So just give it away somehow. If you can give it to your narc person, then do that. You can just visualize giving them their feelings and be like, okay, that's yours, that's yours, this is mine. This is part of setting boundaries. It's not just the physical boundary of don't contact me. There's also the boundary of like, I'm not responsible for your emotion. So that can even happen after you've been no contact physically. You can realize that you're still enmeshed emotionally, where you're like wondering how they're doing, or like wondering if they're okay. It's like, not your job. They're not your child. And it's because we care about people. We're caring people. And it's normal to want to care about people that we thought we loved, you know, or that we were trying to love, but it was not a loving relationship. So emotional enmeshment is a serious problem. It's very common, but just having awareness of it, I think, is really the first step. And then repeatedly telling yourself that you are not responsible for how they feel or how they behave. And you're only responsible for how you respond. So, thanks for watching.